up, everybody? I want to welcome everybody back to the channel. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this turbo manifold that I have, the twin scroll turbo manifold, and I'm going to replace it for a single. Now, you might want to ask why I want to do that. The reason being is I don't want to deal with the dual wastegate issue anymore. It's not really an issue, but I'm just going to replace it with a single scroll wastegate and be happy with it. I should be good, shouldn't have any issues, shouldn't be any problems. So once I do that, I do have to buy some lines tomorrow to run from the wastegate to the boost controller. I did buy some, but obviously they're too short and I don't want to extend more connections within the lines, or I don't want to move my boost controller. So here's what I'm talking about. I got these lines, these N lines, and I'm going from a twin scroll turbo manifold to a single, so these lines don't have to jump anymore. All I gotta do is come around here and put bottom to the bottom right there, and then top to the top over here, and then it will be good. So I won't have to worry about the freaking all the lines and the connections that I have down in the bottom here. That's not something that I have to worry about anymore. I just have to worry about the two lines, and then now this line to the turbo to over here, and that's it. So I want to go from a twin scroll to a single scroll, if that makes sense. So with that, I'm gonna start tearing things apart and hopefully get into it right now. So right now, I'm pretty sure everybody taking the turbo off before. First thing I want to do, I'm gonna take off all these lines right here and get these out of the way. And I'm also going to disconnect the freaking oil return from up here, so that way I don't have to do it at the bottom and all that freaking oil drain out. So I'm gonna just leave it on the car up here and then take off all this other stuff. This should be pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna go into how to take this off like in-depth detail. I'm just telling you guys what I'm gonna do. Obviously pop all these lines off, pop those 5 nuts off down there, pause, and then I'll be good. I'll take the freaking turbo out, all one unit with the exhaust and everything. I'm pretty sure I could do it. All right, took about 15 minutes, but well, it took about 30, but we got all that out over there. Not all that, we got the turbo manifold out over there. And this right here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from this twin scroll to the single scroll. We should be able to make the same amount of power. It's just single scroll instead of twin scroll. Same turbo manifold design basically. Everything else should be the same, so we should see how this goes. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put everything back on the single scroll, and then I'm gonna throw it back in the car and put everything back together, and hopefully everything goes smooth and we could have a quick startup here in a few minutes. Also, all right, here's what we got going on. We got turbo back in, manifold back in, wastegate on. Got the 90 on the wastegate, 90 on the wastegate there. So it'll just be 2 lines up and over here to the freaking boost controller. Turbo's on over here now. The turbo does sit a little further back this way, so it's probably gonna push my exhaust out more through here, right there, which isn't a problem for me. It's not a big problem. I want it out a little bit anyway, so that way it doesn't, get my exhaust, my bumper dirty. But right now, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and throw that exhaust on, and that'll be it for tonight. I eventually have to get another dump tube made, and hopefully I could get that done before Thursday, because Dyno is Friday and I like to get that taken care of. So what I'm gonna do right now is just go ahead and test fit that exhaust and see how far it comes out back here. All right, so here's my dilemma. So right now working this exhaust is a fail, so I'm probably not going to be able to use it. It has the tabs back here, which I could probably cut off, but it would still make the exhaust crooked. The exhaust would have to come all the way over this way, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm about to leave this, and tomorrow night I'll put my other exhaust manifold back on. All right, so it's a different day. I left this last night. The dyno is literally less than 48 hours away. And right now, I don't have a turbo on the car, basically. I try to change the manifold out. It's not gonna work. I gotta get 2 more stuff fabricated in time. And I don't wanna fabricate anything right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my old setup back on. I was trying to eliminate the twin scroll and whatever, but God is saying, don't do that. Leave it twin scroll turbo, twin scroll manifold, dual wastegates. Just do that instead of freaking switching it off for a single scroll. You know, the higher powers that be don't want that to happen. So right now, I'm gonna put this one back on, and I'm gonna take this one off. So, I don't know if I showed this before. If I did, it's probably going to be edited out. But the exhaust don't line up right here. I know I could cut it and make it work and then weld it, but I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take this off, put my old setup back on it, and just call it good, hit the dyno like that. If I got to change anything after the dyno, then that'll be it. But I really don't want to reschedule the dyno because there's an event Sunday and Monday, and I really want to go to that event. So that is why I'm trying to get the car running. Well, the car is running, but that's why I'm trying to get everything 100% so I can hit the dyno. But let me get into it, take this off. It's late tonight. I got to go to work in the morning. You guys obviously seen the old setup before. So I'll probably just show y'all a little like cinematic when I'm finished with it. The old setup, all nice, because you guys seen it before, so it's nothing really major, you know. All right, welcome back. It's less than 48 hours, like I said, and look what happened. Whoa, man, look at that. Ain't that a mess? Snapped an exhaust bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. It's not stuck, granted it's loose. So tomorrow I'm gonna pick up some more, put the turbo on tomorrow. All right, I'm back once again. I know this video have been all over the place. Like, don't get upset about that, all right? Reason being was because I told you guys that I broke the freaking clamp, and I did. I told you guys that I snapped a bolt on the exhaust manifold, and I did, but I got that replaced. I had bolts here, so I replaced those, and that was all messed up, so I had to cut that off, clamp it together, and I got that to work. So that will work for now. I know it looks half-assed, but it still actually look cleaner than the way it looked before because it's not all the way sticking out. So that doesn't look bad. What I did back here was I ran these lines, the AND lines for the wastegate, run onto there, also running back there on the hair, the one that comes off the turbo, run down there to the wastegate. I got it tucked down there. It's kind of out of the way, which I like it. I was trying to run it up here, run everything up top, but over here, I didn't want it running so close to the exhaust, but down there, it's kind of a ways from the exhaust manifold, which I'm not really stressing about. That shouldn't melt anything or cause any issues at all. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the car outside, and I'm going to freaking change the oil and change the spark plugs to be ready for tomorrow when I get to the dyno. I also need to change the rear wheels because the radials that I have on the car might rub once they strap the car down, and I don't want all that. I already have a little groove in there where you can't really even see it. Just minor rub from when it was put together the first time. This side you could probably see it a little bit more, but see a little rub right there from when I put the car together the first time. So I don't want that to be an issue when they strap it down on the dyno and it starts rubbing, smoking and all that. I don't want that. So I'm gonna take the car outside, change the oil, and then gap the plugs. I might just leave the plugs till tomorrow when I get to the dyno. It's less than 24 hours and I'm just getting the car back together. I had it running, I tore it apart. I was going to change the exhaust manifold, yada, yada, yada. You guys seen all that. But less than 24 hours and I'm just getting the car back together to take to the dyno tomorrow. I'm going to change the oil, take it on a little drive, see how it runs.